Welcome back to the show. You know, it seems that one thing always stands the test of time. It's acne. Yes, stubborn skincare woes that seem to plague teens as well as some of us adults. Well, if you're not even close to your teens, you may have experienced acne. Someone who knows a lot about this subject is Dr. Sandra Lee, dermatologist and star of the very popular TLC show, Dr. Pimple Popper. And heads up, some of this that we're about to show you might make you a bit queasy, but we are so glad to have you here, Dr. Lee. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, for sure.
So you are famous around the world for one thing, talking straight about skin conditions. So first, Dr. Lee, tell us, what is acne and what causes it?
Well, acne, we all know what acne is. We've all seen acne. We've all had a pimple sometime in our life, but it really is driven by the oil in our skin, and that is controlled by the hormones that we have. And that is why during teenagers, the hormones are raging and acne can be pretty severe at that time. But you know, these hormones kind of fluctuate throughout our lifetime, so we can get acne breakouts anytime, really, and it can be, you know, you can be any gender, and acne can occur at any age.
So, okay, with this acne and that we have it, and yes, I am having some now. I guess my hormones are changing. Can I ask you, is it ever okay to pop the pimple, or should you just leave it alone?
Well, this is a tough question for me to answer, because I'm going to tell you, as any dermatologist would, that you shouldn't pop your pimples. And the reason is because it can increase your risk for infection, bleeding, even permanent scarring, especially if you do it at the wrong time. But I know a lot of people are going to do that, even myself. You know, I'm a picker. I can't get away from not, you know, you're tempted to do it. So there's probably ideally a best time to do it, you know, when it's the most superficial on your skin, because the deeper something is, the more inflammation, the more it'll probably just get bigger and not even resolve, and the more potential you have to scar.
Okay, that is great advice. We'll have more on that in a minute. But first, I want to ask you, why did you join this campaign about dispelling acne myths?
Well, this is really all about education. I think that that's really important, and this is what I try to, you know, impart on my social media and on my television show. I think you can see that I try to explain whatever skin condition it may be to a patient and have them understand it, because that is really the key to really being able to accept certain treatments and certainly be compliant to them. So I think that you know, it's the same with acne. I think a lot of people have acne, but some people just don't want to use the medications that somebody may give them, just because they're like, what does this even do? I don't even know why I'm using this. So if people understand why and why they're getting acne in the first place, they're probably going to be better about treating it, and then they're going to see the positive results from that.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So can you pop some other acne myths and misconceptions?
Sure. Yes, of course. Like a big one is greasy foods, right? If your mom has probably told you, don't eat that greasy food because you're just going to break out. Well, greasy food is only going to break you out if you rub that food all over your face. It's not really going to cause more oil if you eat it. So that's a really big myth that we can, you know, we can refute. And another one would be, you know, I see a lot of my parents tell me to tell their kid to wash their face more, you know, because their face is dirty and that's why they're breaking out. Well, you know, you shouldn't overwash your face. I think I see a lot of problems with that, because people think that their face is really dirty, or even the acne makes them feel like there's dirt on their face and they really want to scrub hard and scrub it off. But this can actually do more harm. You know, it can cause rashes, irritation, bleeding even of your skin. And so really it's just as bad to overwash your face than to underwash it.
Okay, these are good. So don't rub French fries on my face. Don't overwash. I have another myth I want to ask you about hemorrhoid cream. I was just telling you before we came on air that I use it under my eyes to depuff in the morning, but can it help with acne too? I've heard that.
I think it depends on what products it has in it. I think if it has hydrocortisone in it, which a lot of hemorrhoid creams have, that is a little steroid cream. And you know, sometimes if you have a pimple and you see a dermatologist, they might shoot a little corticosteroid into it to make it go down within 24 hours. It's a similar kind of thing. You're just putting it on as a cream form on your skin. So sometimes we'll tell people to use over-the-counter hydrocortisone, but that is also an hemorrhoid cream. So hemorrhoid cream has some other, uses, but just don't use the same cream for multiple places is what I would say.
Okay, that's good to know. What about salicylic acid? I know that they sell a lot of that for pimples and stuff. Is one better than the other? Should you be using salicylic acid or hydrocortisone for different things?
Well, so that's part of the education too. So salicylic acid is a chemical peel acid that actually settles down into your pores and kind of helps prevent blackheads and whiteheads from forming. So if you have a lot of like comedones or blackheads and whiteheads, you want to focus more on salicylic acid. Or if you have pores that are really prominent to you and you feel like there's a lot of dirt in them, that's what you want to use. You can use it in topical form, like as a cream or a lotion, or you can even use it as a wash.
Okay, and so then if there's a big...
So there's just different purposes for different things.
I see, and this is why I love talking to you about this. And this is why, I don't know, people love you so much. And I just always wanted to know, why do you think we're so fascinated with the skin? Like, I don't like watching other people's pimples, but I do like going after my family and my loved ones. So what is that?
Yeah. You know, there's sort of a resolution of something. It's like you're getting rid of a problem. It's not always easy in our lives to get rid of a problem, right? But here you are, you can squeeze something, it's gone. It's a happy ending in the end, and everybody walks away pleased, right? So that's really what it's about. For some reason, popping pimples is like a release that makes people happy. I mean, there are a lot of people that watch these videos to go to sleep at night. You know, they say it's their bedtime story, or they have a really stressful job and they come home and they watch these videos to make them relax. So that's pretty cool and that's pretty amazing. And I was shocked to hear this when I started building this in the first place.
Well, it makes total sense, and now you made me feel a little bit less strange. So I appreciate you so much, Dr. Lee.
You're
and
not
thank
alone,
you.
that's for sure.
Thank you for all this advice.
Thank you.
All right, well, thank you for that. And coming up next,